Okay. What is going on, LBHT crew? B, what is going on?
Not a whole lot. 3-game winning streak. Life is good. Bryce was at practice with no noticeable limp. So he gonna come back. We're gonna stomp out Buffalo this week for 4 in a row.
We're gonna talk about
All
that.
good.
This is this could be a season defining moment, right? This game against Buffalo. We're gonna talk about that because if you look four wins in a row, and you beat a good team allegedly in Buffalo, well, no Twitch. What are you talking about? No Twitch. I think I put it on Twitch. Oh, maybe I didn't.
Good enough to beat y'all.
Yeah, I didn't put it on Twitch. I'm sorry, Suge. Just hang out on YouTube. You'll be fine. All right. I'm sorry to the 2 fans over there on Twitch.
They're both Suge.
It's Suge's burner.
I told y'all about this for Carolina. This is the awakening. All right.
Listen, maybe. No, I told you, first of all. I told you.
I told you they're going to win 10 games. They're going to win the division. And that Bryce Young is going to the Super Bowl before Lamar Jackson.
We're not ending the stream.
Hey, listen, you're the one who always say you gotta give the fans what they want. Right? If they want the stream to be over, then we gotta go.
All right, listen. It is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope your week is going well, but if not, hopefully it gets better starting right now. Now, Suge pointed out we are not streaming on Twitch today. We are streaming on YouTube and Facebook. So wherever you're watching us, make sure you hit that like button, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're listening to the audio form of this, we put this out on Thursday at lunchtime. So we hope you're enjoying your lunch break. Make sure you give us a 5-star review. What's going on, Kim? Kim's in the house, says, I like how Brodny sounds all bright and lively since his team is winning.
What's with the quotation marks? They got a better record than your Chiefs, don't they? Or are they tied with the Chiefs? They're tied. So are y'all quote winning too? Unbelievable the snakes that come in here. Yeah. Right? It's all good until the hierarchy starts to change.
Yeah, right. Then context matters. Listen. We have a lot to discuss, right? The title didn't do this episode justice. I put in there, hey, look, Lamar Jackson returns to practice. That is the main story. All right. And is Bryce Young going to be out for the Bills? According to today, man, like, look, maybe not. We're going to discuss it. I think this is big for the Panthers because I think if Bryce Young does go out there and play, they beat Buffalo. That's my opinion. But we'll break that down in a Panther segment. The Ravens, look, you guys heard about the article. I'm not sure how many of you all read it. I don't pay for news. So I didn't read it. And yeah, but I got enough information on the article. I got the gist of it, and we're gonna break that down. And I have a few thoughts on that. So we're gonna discuss that. And you guys are not gonna want to miss the overtime show. It is a lot to go over. As y'all may or may not have heard, Doug Martin recently passed away, RIP. He was only 36 years old. The details of that case are still coming out, but what we know so far, very strange, to say the least. So we're going to discuss that. Your boy Stephen A. being Stephen A. And I'm going to ask you guys, I'll throw it out there right now. And then, you guys can sign up for our Patreon, patreon.com/LBHT Show. And let us know, join the conversation. He is selling out. So that's not the question. He is a sellout. Okay. If you're a Stephen A fan or not, that's fine. He's a sellout. Is it okay for him to sell out? That's the question. That's what we're going to break down. And we're going to break down. It's more than what you might think, right? If you're just a Stephen A. Smith fan because you like the character or whatever, and you don't mind him turning heel, it's deeper than that. We're going to break that down in the overtime show. Also, the San Jose Sharks, they have an apology to make, and we're going to talk about that as well. Okay, so all that you can see on our Patreon, patreon.com/LBHT Show right after this show. But for this show, a lot to talk about here. Okay, a lot to talk about here. And LeBron James got a fan mad at him. Okay, So a lot to discuss. What's going on, Yolanda? Ravens Talk with Yolanda. Salute to you. Thanks for coming through. Vintage U2 Rocks says I may have to sign up.
Well, don't hesitate, sir.
Don't hesitate. Patreon.com/LBHT Show.
Or ma'am, I don't know.
For as little as $5 a month, right? You want to just kind of test the waters, hit up the $5 a month. For $10, you get a coin. I don't have the coins here. I had to pack everything up, but I'll put them back in here.
Hey, listen, don't aim low. All right, there's higher tiers.
Yeah,
aim as high as you can.
Yes, but hey, but we appreciate the interest. We appreciate the interest.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Big E is in the house. E3 says, "Let's go." Appreciate you coming through. Thank you. Who else is in the house? Alaska Man is in the house. Shout out to you.
I'm here every week.
Huh?
I'm here every week.
Yes. Thank you for being here every week.
Yeah.
Oh, because you said Alaska Man?
Yes.
Oh, Lord. Yes, B is born. It was born in Alaska. So that's why that's the joke there.
It's not a joke, sir.
Yeah. Well, Alaska Man thinks it's a joke.
I had somebody tell me that I'm not Native Alaskan the other day.
How did that come up?
Erasure.
Erasure.
And I don't appreciate it. All right.
How did that come up in conversation?
I don't remember how it came up, but I said, I was born in Alaska. And they're like, oh, so you're not a native. And I was like, yes, I am. I was born right there on an island in Alaska. Okay. I don't appreciate it.
You should respond with, yes, I'm American.
I didn't say I was Inuit. I said I'm Native Alaskan. I was like, you can't take that away.
Hey, we got Big Reg in the house. Salute to you, Big Reg. Appreciate you coming through. Urban, what's good, Urban? Thanks for coming through. We got Game 2 Easy in the house. He says he's proud of the Panthers. Okay.
Thank you, gang.
Salute.
Thank you.
Okay. And of course, we got the great producer in the house, Adelia. What's going on? Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Yes, everybody listen to Adelia. All right. Okay. Oh, Mrs. Did you call Vintage Mr.?
I said sir or ma'am. I didn't know until she clarified.
Okay. Well, I never called you sir. Mrs. Vintage. All right. So this guy over here.
I don't know. Like, okay, first of all, all right. No disrespect to Mrs. Vintage, obviously, but second of all, I don't know why you're trying to throw me under the bus. Like, if the show goes down, you're not coming with it. Which is part of what we're gonna be talking about with Stephen A. But whatever.
Thanks. Willie C. Bond, salute. Thanks for coming through. Says, what's good, my dudes? Harbaugh's job is definitely saved. I don't know about that.
I wouldn't be so sure that y'all are going to beat Chicago.
Yeah. Even if he does. Listen, let's just be real. None of us think they're going to the Super Bowl. No. Right? They have to earn our trust again. And anything short of that could get him up out of here. All right. We're going to talk about that ridiculous story and how that's not going to save his job either. All right. That's pretty much what's going to come down to. We're going to talk about that. But let's get this show started. But first, we like to start every show with a Black History fact. And B and Akole have a Black History fact for you.
This week, on the LBHT Black History Fact, the Lubombo Bone is a remarkable artifact that offers insight into the intellectual life of early humans. Discovered in the border cave between South Africa and Eswatini, this baboon fibula dates back over 42,000 years and features 29 distinct notches carved into its surface. Scholars believe these markings may have served as a tally system, possibly used to track lunar cycles or count days, suggesting that mathematical thinking and symbolic reasoning were present far earlier than previously assumed. Its age and complexity make the Lubombo bone one of the oldest known mathematical tools, predating other famous artifacts like the Ishango bone by tens of thousands of years. This challenges conventional timelines of mathematical development and highlights Africa's foundational role in the history of science. Beyond its practical use, the bone may have held ritual or spiritual significance, pointing to a culture where abstract thought and symbolic expression were deeply intertwined. Ultimately, the Lubombo bone stands as a powerful testament to the ingenuity of early African societies. It reinforces the idea that the roots of mathematics, timekeeping, and symbolic communication are not just ancient, they're African.
Salute to the Black History Fact. All right. Zeke Hokage, what's good? Thanks for coming through. All right. Let's just get back. Let's just get into it. Lamar Jackson is back. All right. We're all feeling good again. Okay. We can start Purple Friday again. Okay. Some people are asking me at work, about Purple Friday. Purple Friday, everybody wears purple at work. They put the Ravens gear on. I think every fan base does something like that. They wear their team colors on Fridays. Okay. It's Purple Friday here. OJ, what's good? It said Lubombo bone was used to keep a tally for competition. Okay. But listen, I suspended Purple Friday. Okay. People are like, hey, you're not gonna wear any purple? I said, no, I don't no, they haven't earned that. They haven't earned that. They're not gonna show up. I'm not showing up.
You're a fan.
No. Correction. I'm a good weather fan. Does fair weather get you out the house? Not me. If I see it too cloudy, let me stay right at home. All right. I'm a good weather fan. Okay. I'm not getting all emotional, worked up. If a team's not going to, if they're not going to put in the effort, I can watch that at home. All right. That's right. Good weather fan. But no, look, Lamar Jackson's back. That's a great sign. Todd Monken gave him a great big bear hug. He was so happy to see him. He said, thank you, Lamar. Only you understand me. Nobody else can understand me.
I'll tell you right now, if I'm Lamar Jackson, the only reason I'm back at practice is so I can have a setback, because I'm not playing this week. I want to see this team go out there and win without me before I come back and try to save anybody's jobs.
No. He knows that they can't win without him, right? Like that's already. I mean, we've known that for years. I think that was more. Listen, this is not Lamar Jackson purposely sat out or whatever. I'm not saying that, but this definitely showed the organization that they can't win without him, right? Because I think they believed that they were good enough to win without him. They believed that they put together a good enough team, and they got Cooper Rush now, and they're in a place where if Lamar is out for a little bit, we can weather the storm. Our team is set because we invested all this money and picks into the defense. The defense will carry us. I think they believe that. And when he went down, and a lot of teams do this, when things aren't going right, and your quarterback gets hurt, the backup comes in, and he gets a little spark going. You know what I mean? And it feels like, it's because the quarterback, you have the right quarterback in there, and he's doing the things that the starter wasn't doing, and hopefully when the starter comes back, he kind of gets back on track. That didn't happen here. What happened was Lamar went out and we went to really bad. We went from bad to, oh God, this team is bad. And this is what me and B have been trying to tell y'all, that this team is not a good team without Lamar Jackson. Not, hey, well, any team can struggle without their starting quarterback. All right. This is a bad team. Good quarterbacks cannot win with this team. Great
Yeah,
quarterback.
they went
Not
from
good
what was it, averaging 32 points a game about to 6 points a game without him.
Mm-hmm. At
Yeah.
home, not on the road.
Yeah, and granted, Houston's a good defense. The Rams have a good team, but like that's an incredible drop.
Yeah.
What player in the history of football is worth 26 points a week?
Yeah. 30 points to 6 points. Yeah. That's and you had the ball at the goal line, and they're like, we don't care. We don't care. You're still not getting in.
Yeah.
So that's a definite wake-up call to this organization of the things that they've done wrong. Right. And yes, the hope is while he was out, they come to that realization and they're doing whatever they can within their power to fix those things. Right. So I don't know. Maybe he's kind of testing the waters a little bit during practice this week to see if they change whatever they can change. If they have if they get Emory Jones in the mix at guard competition, do something.
Mm-hmm.
And, they'll play it by ear, I guess.
Oh, is he able to actually practice now? The last I saw, he was not able to practice still.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I could be wrong. I thought he could.
We did get a super chat here from the Melanated one. Thank you very much.
Appreciate that.
It says Lamar's back because he's a competitor. It's ridiculous how some Ravens fans and media turned on Lamar questioning his heart. Yeah, but they've done that every time he's been hurt. And it's ridiculous every time. If Lamar could have played, he would have played these last two games. Absolutely. I'm just saying me because I don't have the heart of Lamar Jackson. If that were me, I would not be playing this coming week. I'd be saying, listen, you got to show me that you could protect somebody, that you could put up some points without me. You could do something. 'Cause I'm not wasting my time going out there for 3 hours on Sunday to get embarrassed.
Listen. I don't think I have the heart of Lamar Jackson either. But even if I had a competitive spirit, if I were to sit out and prove a point after the Chiefs loss would have been the time I would have done it. Like the timing is perfect, right? Like it's never good to get hurt. It's never good to get hurt. But if you are going to miss time for an injury that you can come back from, right? Mm-hmm. You can come back from and you'll be fine. No, hopefully no lingering effects. That was the time to do it. That was absolutely the time to do it. All right. 2-game losing streak. Didn't look good. People are talking about you. Who knows what they're saying? Coaches and whatnot are saying after that game. But that would be a time if I wasn't hurt and I'm like, hey, oh, you think it's me? All right, well then win these next 2 games then. We're going. It's just Houston. Yeah. Everybody beats Houston, right? Go ahead, beat them. You got it. Hey, the Rams just lost to Mac Jones. You got that. You got that. You can. We're at home. You got Cooper Rush, right? You got Lamar 2.0 right there. Tyler Huntley. You got that. Oh, you don't got that. You can't even make field goals without me. That's interesting. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll come back now, I guess. All right. We good? We're here now. So I'm just saying, I'm definitely not saying that's what Lamar did, but that's what I would do.
Right.
That's
and
absolutely what
I would do that. And then when I came back and won a game, I would immediately ask for a trade.
Listen, not just us, okay? All of you in the chat would do that too. You wish you had that kind of power at your job. When you go to your job and you say, hey, what's up with this raise? And they BS you on a raise that you've earned. You wish that you could go somewhere else, or you could take some time off just to show them, hey, this place will crumble without me. How many times have people said that in the throughout the years? Yeah. Man, when I leave, this place going right downhill.
Right.
The place is gonna crumble.
After we log off, I'm gonna tell you what happened to work today. Unbelievable.
Over. Okay. All right. Is that an overtime thing, or is that pre-overtime?
No, not overtime thing, but
Okay.
Regardless, but no, back on track, because the Ravens are trying to get back on track, right?
Yeah.
They got the Chicago Bears coming up this week. They had their bye week to as somebody on Twitter said, be grounded. They lost their ping pong tables and whatnot in the building, so then now they got to lock in.
Yeah.
But they're going up against Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, Luther Burden, Roma Dunze, DeAndre Swift, with Ben Johnson calling the plays. They're not the best team in the world, but they are very competitive. They're a solid team, and the Ravens just have not been right. Offensively, they've been awful without Lamar Jackson. But when he's in there and he's playing well, they're one of the best offenses in the league. So yeah, they could go out there and just kind of outscore Chicago. Defensively, they've been just disgustingly bad. And there's times that the players aren't even blaming or upset with Zach Orr. They're putting it on themselves, saying they're out there making little mistakes and they're not mentally in it. I would say that's part of the coach's job, but it's nice to see them taking accountability for themselves.
Well, don't get too much in that, because we're gonna break that part down. Yeah.
But I was gonna go into what the Ravens could possibly do. I don't know if you wanted to bring this up yet. If they could, any additions that they could make to help right the ship. There was a tweet that came out a couple of days ago about the New York Jets. I believe we have it here I believe it was uploaded, but it is somebody talked to a bunch of different.
Hold off on that. Hold off on that idea. I mean, it's okay to bring it up, but let's discuss that after the Panthers segment too, because then we could talk about what both teams could.
Okay, so we'll wait on that. What do you think is going to be the key for Baltimore against Chicago this week? If Lamar is back and if he is not able to go.
So Chicago, they're not the same Chicago team, right? Yeah. They're competitive. Are they good? It's still early to say, but they're playing better football for sure. Better football. Mm-hmm. And really what it's going to take is we have the talent and we just have to, we have to lock in. I know that's kind of a cliche to say, but our losses come from lack of discipline, lack of effort on the defensive side, right? Like those missed tackles, that's an effort thing. That's not a coaching thing. That's an effort thing, right? Mm-hmm. So players have to play if they play the way they played against the Rams, that would be much better against this team, right? So they had to bring that every week. Roquan Smith was back at practice too. I'm not sure if he's going to be playing. B's laughing because the video that showed out there, people thought that was a D lineman at first.
Michael Pierce.
It was a bad angle. He didn't look
You know what? I defended the bad angle thing years ago when it was Eddie Lacy. All right, it was like, oh, that's a bad angle. That's not Fat man. Eddie. That's not Fat Eddie. And you know what happened? What happened? China food happened, and he was out of the league in like a year and a half.
I've seen Roquan Smith up close, recently. He doesn't he doesn't look fat at all. Yeah. I think that was definitely a bad angle, but it was funny though. Yeah. It was funny. So, but no, I think they win, right? Lamar, this type of team, they win that game. And I don't know if Pat Ricard is going to come back. When Pat Ricard comes back, I hate to say this, man, because it shouldn't be that critical. The fullback shouldn't be that critical to the team, but the blocking is going to look better. The blocking overall is going to look better. That's really what's hurting them on that side right now is Pat Ricard not there being an extra blocker. But I think they play more inspired football. Obviously, Lamar comes in there. They're going to rally behind him. They'll get this win. I'm not worried about this win. I want to see how they win. If it's a close game or they still look off, they still look clunky, that's still bad news. If they look like they've come together a little bit, they're a little bit more cohesive, they execute better, cut down the penalties, then they're starting to get it. Melanie the one says he was a full participant, so he's back out there. So so there's a lot. Yeah, those things are heavy factors into this game.
Yeah, Chicago, they've won 4 in a row. Right?
Yeah,
that's a confident bunch there. It's a talented team. The thing about Caleb Williams is a very, very talented guy. extremely talented. There's a reason he went number 1 overall, and a lot of people have been down on him over the beginning of his career here. But as we've seen, and look, it's the
What's up, Hendo?
It's the star of the work story. As we've seen, with in other situations, it does take a while to get to a consistent high level of play at quarterback. I mean, look at what's happening to CJ Stroud in Houston right now. He was an MVP candidate as a rookie, and now he's looking like Bryce Young out there as a rookie, right? But the thing is that when Caleb Williams has time, he plays very well, right? If you get pressure on him, you can get hits on him, get him out of the pocket, get him to speed up his process. Then he gets kind of erratic. But Baltimore can't do that, or haven't been able to do that thus far, right? So if they go into this game and they're not able to get consistent pressure on Caleb Williams, I don't think that they're going to cover DJ Moore and Rome Odunze. Even the Burden decides to show up. I don't know if he wants to do that or not, but I don't think that they'll be able to do that. And I don't really have a lot of confidence that they're going to be able to shut down DeAndre Swift. And I'm just going to call the other running back Kyle, because I don't know how to pronounce his last name properly. The rookie Monangai, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but I don't have any confidence that they'll be able to shut those guys down. I'm not saying that they're going to go Jonathan Taylor on you, but the Ravens defense has been very, very soft up the middle, right? They've been very soft on the back end, and they have not been able to get any pressure on the quarterback. I think Baltimore's going to score. Mm-hmm. I don't have doubts about that, but I do have doubts about them being able to hold Chicago's offense. On the other side.
No, listen, I don't think it's going to be a shutout. I don't even think they're going to I don't think it's going to be one of those things where they're only giving up 13 points or anything like that. They'll give us some touchdowns, but I think they can do enough to slow them down. Right? Chicago, I think, is getting there, but they're not quite there yet. This is the type of team where, a little more experience, a little better coach, they could beat us, but they're not quite that team yet.
They're a team that is riding high, and confidence is a big thing. That win over Washington was huge for them.
Yes.
They came back and took care of business against the Saints. Nobody cares about beating the Saints, but they did it. Right. So they're like I said, they're on a 4-game winning streak. They're extremely confident right now, and those teams are dangerous.
Absolutely.
Buffalo. So I think it's gonna be a tough game. And if Lamar has any rust, that's not gonna be great for y'all.
OJ says, "Who are these Nigerians we signed from Dr. Umar School of Pan-Africanism?"
No, OJ. Okay, first of all, shout out to any of our Nigerian fans. The comments in the chat do not represent the views of the show.
No.
I'm not sure if you actually signed F.A. Obata, but F.A. Obata is a Carolina Panther legend, who in his last year in Carolina had 5.5 sacks in a kind of a reserve rotational role. Okay, Now granted, he was 28 then. He's 33 now. So I don't know. I don't know that he's gonna provide anything for y'all. But that's how EDC likes him. Old and used up.
What's going on, Jeremy? Jeremy says a trap game at 1-5 because Lamar might play. I think it's still evenly matched despite what the spread says. I don't know what the spread says. I mean, listen, we're 1-5. I can't say we're better than anybody, but I feel like if we're playing our game, we are better, and we should. I think we need to handle them, right? But that's if we're still hoping that they're going to be in the playoffs and they're going to compete for a Super Bowl, they have to come out there and just start playing the way we think they can play. Now, will they be able to do that? That remains to be seen. I mean, okay, look, we'll pick. I'm picking the Ravens to win this one. This might be the last time I pick them if things go south. But I'm gonna pick them to win 31-21.
I am going to take the Chicago Bears 35-27.
Okay. Close game. Now, the questions that we have, and will they go out there and play inspired football, or did they give up on the team? Did they give up on the coaches? That question has been amplified thanks to the Baltimore Sun. Okay. Now,
doing God's work.
Listen, Baltimore Sun. I have very little love for the Baltimore Sun. They have a long history of racism. They have a long history of just shady practices. I would say current history of shady practices.
Yeah.
Okay. They're currently purchased by Sinclair Media. It was just like a right wing media outlet. They buy up a bunch of local news outlets and whatnot, and they push a propaganda. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and they're also battling the workers there currently. The Baltimore Sun Guild, the union over there. They're pushing back over some of the things that they're trying to make the reporters report on. Okay. So all I have to say is I take this with a grain of salt. All right. I'm not saying that the writers themselves are putting out bad stuff, but when you hear these stories that this corporation buys a paper and they're trying to push a certain narrative. I mean, billionaires are friends with billionaires. Okay. Yeah. The owner of Sinclair is a billionaire. And of course, the owner of the Ravens is a billionaire. It's all too easy for them to have lunch one day, go golfing, or just have him walk over to the stadium because the sun is not far away and say, hey, man, put this out here. Okay. Mm-hmm. Here's what's going on. It's all too easy for them to get the Sun to spin a certain narrative. And this kind of feels like that. You talk to 20 some odd sources, players and whatnot from the organization. I don't think so. But look, let's put out. Look, I have a couple of screenshots. Adelia, if you can, put the first one up here. We'll read this. This is the story right here from the Baltimore Sun. Okay, Baltimore Sun spoke with more than 25 sources in and around the Ravens to gain a better understanding of what's really wrong with a team laden with All-Pro and Pro Bowl talent, led on offense by a two-time NFL Most Valuable Player in quarterback Lamar Jackson, and a defense that just 2 seasons ago was among the league's elite.
You know what? I would if I stop you right there. Yep. This is one thing that I love in reporting, and listen, I know that you do it just because kind of save time and whatever. You're just putting it out there. But yep. What's the breakdown between the sources who are in the Ravens organization and those around the Ravens organization, right? Because you have a good chance you're getting a different story from those around it than those in it.
Okay, let me finish reading this because the discussion provided a revealing view of an offense that is frustrated with a lack of creativity, a defense that has played tentatively and is scared to make even the smallest mistake, and a group of veterans and rookies alike who have struggled to find joy in the work. And this is from Kevin Richardson. I'm going to give him credit, from the Baltimore Sun. Now, yes, 25 sources in and around. Now, to be totally fair to Kevin Richardson, I didn't pay for the article. I didn't read the whole thing. But how many were in and how many were around?
Yeah.
Right? I know he sourced they said a veteran on the team, 1 or 2 veterans on the team. Mm-hmm. He quoted. It could be more. Again, if you want to read the article for yourself, just go check out the Baltimore Sun and click the link. It's behind a paywall. I refuse to give Baltimore Sun my money, but you want to support Kevin Richardson's work. I'm sure he's doing a fine job. I encourage you to go and do so. Okay. But I just pulled some quotes. Okay. I pulled some quotes that were out there. What was the next quote? Put something up there, Adelia. I didn't put in any kind of order. Now, Matt King was quoting who he paid for the paywall. All right. Salute to you, Matt King, for paying it and giving us this quote. It says Ravens players are upset with Todd Monken, not Zach Orr. Come Okay, that's a red flag to me. Quote, it just feels different. I just don't feel like guys are being put in positions to succeed with this offense. Okay. Another quote, teams didn't have any film on us. Now they've seen everything that we've done. So we have to be more creative and put guys in spaces to succeed. And another quote, a mistake's not going to kill you, but these little mistakes all over the place continuing is just like a snowball. It messes with you mentally. It makes Zoe look bad when he's calling the right stuff. Now that last quote is in regards to the defense.
Yeah.
Right. Let's break down the first part of it.
They're not putting guys in spaces to succeed, but you were a top offense in the league when Lamar Jackson was playing. The offense was very successful early in the season up until Lamar got hurt. So, I mean, I can understand being frustrated with Todd Monken because of situational play calling.
Yes.
Let's snap it to Mark Andrews instead of giving it to Derrick Henry and whatnot. But overall, and I've said previously, I'm not a big fan of Todd Monken. I don't think he's doing a great job or anything like that. But they were a top offense in the NFL. Right? They scored 40 in that first game. They scored 30 plus in 3 out of those first 4 or 5 games that they played. I believe that when Lamar went down, they were in 3rd at that point in scoring in the NFL. The issues were on the other side of the ball, where they were giving up just as many points as they were scoring.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna comment on that in a minute, but let's go through these other quotes here. I'm gonna get these out the way, and then we'll break them down. What's the next one, Adelia? This is did I say Walker? I said Brian Walker out there. It's Brian Wacker, I guess. That's the guy that wrote it right there. Quote, it's freaking Lamar Jackson. How can you not find ways to have success with him? But I'm pretty sure if you put Patrick Mahomes out there for us right now, the same things would be happening. And then the last quote, the last tweet, quote, it was that Bills game that put a beating on us mentally, where it felt like everything was ending, even though it was the first game, when we have so much time to recover, such a long season, and we let that carry over. All right. So those are all the quotes that were floating out there. Those are the ones that people are reacting to. There's a lot more, breaks down a lot more in the article. B mentioned it earlier. They talked about this in the article, how they took out the ping pong table and the other games and whatnot out the locker room after the Chiefs loss. Now, going back to Todd Monken, basically overall what they're saying in the article is team isn't happy with Todd Monken. They're fine with Zach Orr. And that's where I see some skepticism there, right? Is this a narrative that the team wants to push out there because John Harbaugh don't want Todd Monken around and Zach Orr is his guy? It feels that way. Or are the players just stupid?
Well, and
right?
it could also just be that he wants to protect Zach Orr and he knows that Todd Monken's not going to get fired because the offense is working when Lamar is there, right? Lamar plays, they're scoring 30 a game, and Todd Monken's not getting fired. There's no pressure to move on from Todd Monken, and he's trying to provide some cover for Zach Orr.
But this isn't necessary to do any of this stuff, right? Like we know what it is. Like it's not if nobody's getting fired, right? You don't need to say anything. Like
you don't need to say anything, but you also don't want to have the public narrative around your team 24/7 being fire the coaches. And that's what it's been. And that's why I always said that the trading Oweh was just to kind of throw some red meat to the fans so they would talk about something else for a week besides firing John Harbaugh. What does trading Oweh for a backup safety get you? Nothing.
Okay. So
right.
you and I are on the same page. We think this is propaganda from the team. We don't think this is actual 25 sources in and outside of the organization that gave him these quotes. Like the one is freaking Lamar Jackson. Who said that? Who said it's freaking Lamar Jackson, man? Like which player said that?
Brent Urban? I'm not sure. Like, I don't know, but no, I do think that it is that a bit of that, right?
Yeah.
And listen, if you're looking to put out a particular story, you can find people to say what you want them to say. You'll always be able to find somebody who will give you the right quote that you're looking for. But the idea that none of the players or the majority of the players are not upset with the way that Zach Orr is running the defense doesn't feel true to me, because most of these players were here a couple years ago when Mike McDonald was running the defense, and they were elite, right? So I don't believe that this group of veteran players said, hey, you know what, with this great defensive coordinator who's now a pretty good head coach, it seems like, we were a great defense. And ever since Zach Orr took over, we've been terrible. That's on us.
Yeah. So I just started a poll. Do you believe the Baltimore Sun article? Yes or no? Right. Me and B think it's BS. And again, this is nothing. This is not shade to the reporter. You know, if it's real, hey, our bad. But we just know how this organization works, right? We've seen them put out these talking points before, in different, through different outlets and whatnot. We know what the Baltimore Sun is about, so you understand the skepticism. Okay, now, let's say it is real. Okay, or for the people that argue it is real, you're telling me that who on the offense is frustrated with the way the offense is being run, outside of Lamar. I can see Lamar saying, hey man, I'm just tired. I'm through with this. I don't like the way this is being called. But he would have been through with it with Giro. Okay,
but yeah, that's my thing, is because the offense has been fine outside of 2 games. In those 2 games, you didn't have your starting quarterback. So it just doesn't seem
like you said,
it doesn't seem believable to me that the offense is frustrated with the way things are going when things had been going very well.
Who's frustrated with the offense?
The only person who would be frustrated was Derrick Henry. Yes, but that's because Derrick Henry was fumbling. He's not frustrated with the coaching. He's frustrated with himself.
I don't see Derrick Henry giving the Sun any quotes. I don't see Lamar Jackson giving the Sun any quotes. Right. The O-line, are they going to talk to them? Like Daniel Falele?
I'll tell you what, Daniel and Andrew, they don't want their names out there any more than they currently are.
Right? No.
I think Big Red says maybe DeAndre Hopkins. Okay, maybe. I don't really think so though. Like, yeah, he knows he's not the same player that he used to be. He's not a huge part of the offense. Maybe he's a little upset about that, but he's not going to be the featured player in any offense.
So, okay, all right. And House, what's up, House? What's going on, man? He says the receivers. All right. Let's say the wide receiver room is frustrated with the offense. That's one group. So the rest of the group is fine with it. But this article makes it seem like the offense is frustrated with Todd Monken as a whole, right? And if you're talking about 1 or 2 players, that doesn't represent that whole team. That represents 1 or 2. That's just 1 or 2 players, and that always happens.
OJ is a name there. I could see likely being frustrated because you keep on playing Mark Andrews, and he's clearly better than Mark Andrews. But again, that would be one guy.
Bateman too. Listen, you're supposed to be frustrated when you don't get the ball.
No, not Bate. Not Bate.
Look.
You catch more than half your targets before you get frustrated.
Listen, AJ Brown just won a Super Bowl. And he's wondering, why isn't he getting the ball more?
That's because he's AJ Brown. Like I said, catch more than half of your targets before you try to get frustrated.
What I'm saying is that group gets frustrated when they don't get the ball. That's I'm not talking about the caliber of the player. It's just that the mentality. That's the attitude, right? So that's nothing different. That's supposed to happen.
I think Rashad Bateman has shown on multiple occasions that he does not have that a wide receiver's mentality.
But if it were, that's not newsworthy in my opinion. Wide receivers are supposed to want the ball, right? I just don't see these quotes coming from that many players on offense, right? I don't think the offense in general is that frustrated with how it's going. I think they might be frustrated with the situational stuff, like you said earlier. But man, with Lamar in there, they've been buzzing. Now might have been frustrated the last couple of weeks.
Oh yes,
right.
I'm sure. I can name 11 players who were frustrated the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're going to the Baltimore Sun and talking about how frustrated you are after 2 games without your starting quarterback when you know your starting quarterback is coming back after the bye.
Right. Now, the defense. Okay. The defense. You're telling me that collectively, the majority of the players on that side of the ball said, man, this ain't Zach Orr's fault. This is our fault. Zach Orr is calling all the right plays out there, and we're just getting it wrong.
Right. And again, I don't believe that, especially when you consider that these are the same players, for the most part, who were there and who were elite under Mike McDonald. Marlon Humphrey, for example, just tweeted out, should I do a glizzy taste tour around the country on one day? 50 states, 50 glizzies. I don't think that he's sitting at home like, man, I need to fix my performance. Right? He's not saying, you know what, man, I got to get home. I got to get my head in this playbook and I got to get right. He said, should I go on a glizzy tour? Because you know what he is saying when he goes home? He said, ain't nothing I can do about that. That ain't on me. So
you're telling me because Marlon Humphrey speaks his mind. He just said it a couple weeks ago when I can't remember what loss it was. Was it the Bills loss? Was it the Lions loss? And he said, hey, after that game, defense, we're talking and like, hey, what's that players are coming to me and say, hey, what do you think? What do you think happened out there? And I'm like, man, I don't know. Right.
We've heard them say that publicly.
Kyle Van Noy has said that public. I don't know what's going on. And he's even said, look, we got, players got to take accountability. He said that, but when he was asked about the coaching, he was like, they're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the coach's message reaching you? Ask them.
Yes. That's what he said. Ask them. Right. I didn't hear him say, listen, Zach Orr is calling all the right things out there. We're just not executing. I didn't hear that.
No. Jeremy, don't be this guy. It's a hot dog, not a glizzy. Don't do that. Thank you for coming, though. Appreciate it.
All right. So yeah, that's telling something completely different than what we've heard from players publicly, okay, over the last few weeks. Now all of a sudden they've come together and said, no, man, it ain't Zach Orr, it's us. All right, well then you're bad players. Right? Like, it doesn't matter. So you all decided as a team, coach is fine, we're just not playing good. And you still suck. Right? Like, okay, well, listen, you can change that. We still got a lot of football left. But with that standing, with this article out there standing, eyes are definitely on you to shut down this Bears team. Okay. Now you have to really go out there, anonymous or not, there was 25 of y'all. Okay. Allegedly, there's 25 of y'all speaking. So now that's all people are going to be thinking about, man. The players took account. They said it was them. So, if they go out there and give up 32 points, you can't blame Zach Orr. We just got to get these guys up out of here. I do not buy this article, man. I don't. And also, why now are you frustrated with the offense? This has always been the offense with John Harbaugh. And when I say always, I mean always. This predates Lamar Jackson. Harbaugh has always done a terrible job with situational football. We almost blew the Super Bowl. Sure did.
And Ravens fans didn't say, man. I mean, and granted, you just won the Super Bowl, so you're not going to say fire the coach. But nobody was like, man, John almost blew that. They said, man, if they didn't turn them lights off. If they ain't turned them lights off, we was going to win by 60. What turning the lights off had to do with anything?
Man, we almost blew that. And a couple years later, we were back in the playoffs, and we have the Patriots down by 2 touchdowns twice. Blew that
2 times.
He has a history of just choking, a long history. Okay, so if and then of course when Lamar gets here, then you just have bad play calling, predictable play calling, all that stuff. With it started Marty Wiggs, obviously G-Roll. Everybody remembers G-Roll. And now Todd Monken, who I think has done a better job than both of them, are the plays still predictable? Yeah, because ultimately it's John Harbaugh's call. It's him making the calls out there. It's not Monken. Monken isn't the one saying, let's take Derrick Henry out the game here. Let's do the tush push 2 times with our tight end. Right. That I don't think that is a Todd Monken thing. That's a John Harbaugh thing, because this is what we always do. We always do dumb stuff like this well before Todd Monken was here. So I'm not buying any of that. Okay. And lastly, how the hell did you get 25 quotes, right, from people in and around the organization? Right. But you just showed up one day. They say, hey guys, Baltimore Sun is downstairs. You want to talk to him? Go ahead and go talk to him.
It is incredibly quickly they put this together, it seems like. Right?
Yes.
Because it's presented as like this deep dive, this investigative piece and all that. And like, I wouldn't even, not even that it's not, it's just like, why did you start it? Because the first week, okay, we blew the game, but nobody saw 1-5 after they lost to Buffalo, right? It was, man, through 3.5 quarters, this looks like the best team in football in Baltimore. And then they choked away the game in the last 5 minutes. Okay, I'm not starting to call people at that point like, hey, you are frustrated with that offensive coordinator that just put up 40 points, right? That doesn't make any sense. You come back and they beat down Cleveland. So, like I said, when are you starting this process, and how quickly did you get to 25 people?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm about to say. Like, how can it be a deep dive, right? Because you didn't start at week 1. You didn't start at week 2 after you beat Cleveland.
Right.
I doubt you started at week 3, right? Because you're still thinking, okay, well, it's the Lions. You played a good team, right? Week 4, you started at week 4. Okay, so week 4, week 5, week 6. So you spent 3 weeks on this, calling people up. Maybe, right. But that seems, like I said, that seems pretty rushed. And that's a lot of sources.
And I'm not saying that this is what happened, but in my head, what I see is dude sitting at his desk at the Baltimore Sun, and the editor coming out to him like, hey, I got a list of quotes for you. Build a story around this. Right? You know what I mean? Like, that's what it feels. Yeah. It's like, hey, this is the story you're writing. Here are some quotes. Put it together and have it on my desk next Monday.
Unfortunately, because that's the rep that Baltimore Sun has. That wouldn't surprise me, man. Yeah. The time of this article was suspect. Yes, Leister. And again, man, like, we know the Ravens do stuff like this. They'll use the media to push the narrative. And again, it's not just the Ravens. Every team will do this. I mean, hell, we just talked about Jerry Jones over the offseason, threatening to fire to some radio host that didn't work for him because he thought he owned them.
Yeah.
he didn't realize, these don't work. These guys don't work for me. I thought I owned all of media.
He said, if I had known that I didn't control them, I never would have done that interview.
Right. He's sitting there talking to them the whole time, getting frustrated with their questioning. And he's just like, yo, what's wrong with you? You know better than to ask me that. Right. And they're like, Jerry, no, like, this isn't your station, like, but yeah, like, they want to control the narrative. And obviously the talk is, when is Harbaugh going to get fired? Obviously.
Yeah.
That's just anybody, any team that's expecting to win a Super Bowl, and you get off to that start. That's the talk. If the Lions start out 1-5, it would be when's Dan Campbell going to get fired for sure. Right? They were talking about that for Sirianni early last year. After the Ravens lost to the Eagles, and you had Eagles fans in this stream, we asked them about Sirianni. They're like, he sucks. Fire him.
Right.
Okay. Like, there's pressure to win when it's your window to win. Yeah. So the talk of firing Harbaugh, that's a given. We're going to talk about that. And then you're on a bye week. There's more time to talk about it. And now there's pressure. Lamar is back. It's like, oh, you better win. The timing, you're absolutely right. Whoever said it in the chat, the timing on this article, too suspect for me.
Yeah, because when you're in your window, like fans, coaches, players, owners, everybody knows the window closes, right? You have a certain amount of time where you're near the top of the league. You have a certain amount of time to cash in a Super Bowl because the window always closes, but windows don't always open back up. Like sometimes it takes a very, very long time before you're ever really competitive again, you know? Yeah. And so that's why you do have that intensity of the criticism and everything when you're in that window and you're not getting it done.
Yeah. So no, me and B don't buy the article. That's just what it is, man. Like, sorry, no disrespect to the reporter. I don't believe it. Too perfectly timed, pointing fingers at the wrong person. This is not Todd. If you think this is Todd Monken's fault, man, get out of here with that. And ultimately, it's not Zach Orr's fault either. It is John Harbaugh's fault. Stop blaming the coordinators, right? And blame the person that always puts us in these situations. Okay. It's just the bottom fell out. Lamar Jackson missed 2 weeks. Because honestly, I think we would have won those 2 games if Lamar Jackson was healthy.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially with the way the Rams played.
Yeah. And then we talk about 3-3 and everything's fine. Right. Hey, everything's fine. We go on a win streak. And we're not really talking about anything. But him sitting out those 2 games, losing to those 2 teams, especially the Texans, really exposed some things. Even people that are diehard Harbaugh fans, I'm a Ravens fan no matter what, whether Lamar's here or not. I'm gonna be a Ravens fan. I'm always gonna be a Ravens fan. And they looked at that team, they're like, oh man, I don't know. I gotta rethink this, right?
That's when they won't say anything. They just won't come around for a while.
Yeah. They get real quiet, and
Shout
then like Osman said, not just Harbaugh's EDC. You got more people criticizing EDC. All right, a lot of people that were getting on us for criticizing EDC were like, "Yeah, I'm not seeing the players. You know, the EDC is supposed to bring those guys in, So,
anyway, it is time to move on to the top franchise of the show, the number 1 team. On Lunch Break Hot Take, the team that's on a 3-game winning streak, that's 4-3, is getting ready to go into Buffalo. And listen, get ready to go into Buffalo and help y'all out. Okay, so you haven't earned it, but we're gonna do it for you anyway.
Let's recap last week's game because you didn't want to go live afterwards. You didn't want to, give your Panthers fans the content that they wanted.
Because we were gonna talk about it tonight. And listen, last week is what I like to see from teams, right? Because it wasn't a great game.
No,
it wasn't a game where Carolina was on, and they just kind of rolled through a winless team. It was a game where they were okay. They played okay, and normally, if Carolina plays okay, they leave them with that L. All right, they got to be playing really well to get the W. But they weren't playing really well. They played all right, and they were able to just get the win because they are the better team. And it's been a long time since Carolina's really been able to say that. 2021 was the last time they were over 500. So just to give you an idea how things have been going down in Charlotte. Bryce Young had another, good game. Not a great game. He did get hurt later on, which was unfortunate. Dirty-ass jet play, stepping on his ankle. Whatever. Rico Dowdle, go watch that replay. He kicked his foot out and stepped on his ankle intentionally.
Okay, I take it back.
But Rico Dowdle, he played well.
Yeah.
Didn't have the game that he had the 2 prior weeks, obviously, because Chuba Hubbard was back. But yeah, the run game was good, was
And the
fine.
Jets are good on defense.
Yeah. Xavier Legette had a great game. 9 catches for 92 yards and a touchdown. Tedero McMillan played pretty well. Jimmy Horn, was out there getting involved in everything. The defense showed up yet again, because that was the real big thing, is that defense completely shut them down.
Yeah.
Completely shut down the Jets. And it was funny listening to the commentary, because obviously Justin Fields has not had a good season. He's been playing very poorly. And that continued in this game. And they benched him in this game. And then when Tyrod Taylor came in, the tone of the commentary completely changed. And they were talking about how much better the Jets looked, and now they were moving the ball and blah 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 and all this. Oh yeah, okay. They didn't score any points with Tyrod, or they scored 3 points with Tyrod, just like they did with Justin Fields. And Tyrod threw a couple of interceptions to J.C. Horn. So the results weren't actually better with Tyrod Taylor, but it was the look of it, I guess, that they preferred. But yeah, the run defense continued to be dominant. J.C. Horn, like I said, had a fantastic day with a couple of interceptions, and they, I don't want to say bailed out the offense, but every time the offense needed them to make a stop, they rose up and made the stop. Right?
Yeah. I mean, listen, the Jets are a tough team. Like, they're a bad team, but they're a tough team, right? Mm-hmm. They should have beat the Broncos the week before, right? And look, it was another tough game. The Broncos, they edged it out and got the win. But like, defensively, the Jets are going to keep them in games. Mm-hmm. It's just the offensive side is where they need help. But for you guys to struggle and still get the win, that's what changed the mentality in the locker room, right? Mm-hmm. You're on a win streak now. You play a tough game. You still came out with the win. And when you go to play the Bills, defensively, the Bills aren't the Jets, right? Overall, they're a much better team. But on the defensive side, they're not the Jets. They're not going to give you the same issues that the Jets can give you, right? So that's something to look forward to in that game. But before we get to that game, J.C. Horn, mm-hmm. That's one of those games. He's having an excellent year so far. Mm-hmm. Excellent year. That game right there is one of those games that puts you on our road to All-Pro.
Potentially, yeah. I think he needs to, if he wants to be an All-Pro, right, and stand out as one of the top corners in the league, he can't let Mike Jack get eaten up by George Pickens all day. And granted, that's not his decision, obviously.
Right.
Yeah. He's not calling the defense and all that. But I think people like to see the top corner take on the top wide receiver. Much like everyone laughed when number 2 corner Nate Wiggins said, "Man, put me on number 2 wide receiver Devontae Adams." Right? Like, they want to see the top guy call for the top guy on the other side and say, "Hey, I got him." Like you're playing pickup basketball, right? Like the guy who's scoring at will, like, I got him. We're switching. Because George Pickens was absolutely terrorizing Mike Jackson, and the other 10 guys were just like, damn.
And I agree with Jay too. Jay says All-Pro for JC and Derek Brown. Definitely Derek Brown.
Derek Brown, I think, is a shoe-in. I mean, obviously he's got to keep playing like that. We're halfway through, but like, he's the top interior lineman in the league.
He's a menace.
He's gonna win comeback player of the year. He's gonna be first team All-Pro. No shot at defensive player of the year, I don't think, just because of the position that he plays. But he's having a phenomenal year. But yeah, no, JC, I think that he's definitely stepping up. I was not at all pleased when they played Miami to see him with his back to the quarterback, just kind of flailing around while they threw a pass right by him to Darren Waller for a touchdown. But outside of that kind of ugly, the ugly optics of that, he's been playing great.
Yeah. Jeremy Miller says, give Rico an All-Pro. Listen, there are too many great running backs in the league. Rico Dowdle's playing well. Did you not see Jahmyr Gibbs on Monday?
I mean, listen,
did you not see Jonathan Taylor on Sunday?
All-Pro, yeah, it's league wide, and they take, I don't know how many running backs they take, but Christian McCaffrey, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor, and then pick whoever else you want in that last spot. He's not. Yeah, he doesn't have any shot at all, bro. Listen, and Jeremy, I know where this is coming from. Any team, any player could do that to your team. Terrible on defense, right? Just terrible down there in Dallas. Should be ashamed of themselves.
So I'll tell how to start. Okay, let's talk about the Bills game. B, how do you see that game going? The Bills.
It depends because the big talk is Bryce has a high ankle sprain.
Yes,
and typically that's an injury that keeps you out multiple weeks.
Yeah,
but they have said that they are going to be aggressive in treatment and trying to get him out there to play. He wants to play, and they said he was seen today, kind of walking around without a limp, right? And so it's kind of giving that hope that maybe he'll be out there, right? If Bryce is able to play, I think they have a good shot at winning that game. Buffalo is not who they were last year or over the last couple of years, right? They're in a phase where they're kind of breaking down a bit before they can really build back up. They went out, they drafted Keon Coleman. Khalil Shakir is still pretty young. Like they're moving on from the Stephon Diggs phase and trying to, get to the next group. James Cook is really, outside of obviously Josh Allen, but James Cook is the only skill position guy that would make you lose any sleep at all. And the Panthers have one of the best run defenses in the league. The Panthers aren't great in the secondary, but I'm not worried about Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir. The question is, will they be able to get pressure on Josh Allen? Will they be able to get hits on him? Will they be able to kind of keep him contained and not let him, get out and scramble for a bunch of yards and things like that? And I don't know. They lost Pat Jones for the season. Princely and Nick Scorton, I think, are very talented, and they're starting to come on, more and more each week. But, where they're at right now, we'll see. Like they're still kind of waiting for that breakout game for both of them, But yeah, I don't have a ton of concern over the Bills' run game, even though James Cook is a phenomenal player, because the Panthers' defense has been just that good up front, and just those receivers are not scary at all. And let's 100% honest here. I saw Atlanta beat you a couple of weeks ago, so I'm not real concerned. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where like you kind of get taken down a notch or two. Where it's it's like when everybody saw Mike Tyson crawling around on the mat looking for his mouthpiece, the aura's gone.
Yeah.
I saw you get hurt, so I'm not afraid of you anymore. But yeah, if Bryce plays, he's been playing very well. Xavier Legette, credit to him, is playing well the last couple of weeks.
Yes,
Tataroa has been playing well all season. Jimmy Horn has been contributing. Mitchell Evans is coming on, which I hate to say because again, Notre Dame, but they're getting healthier on the O-line. Austin Corbett is back. Obviously Chuba Hubbard is back. Rico Dowdle's playing great right now. So yeah, I'm very confident that they can win this game if Bryce is playing. Now, if Bryce is not 100%, I would say just sit him because you are 4-3, and you got to look at the grand scheme of things. You're not looking at a Super Bowl contender with this team right now. So let him sit until he's healthy. If he can't get close to 100%, right? And at that point, Andy Dalton comes in, and we have one insight about the Carolina Panthers when Andy Dalton plays. You can put that one up. Andy Dalton likes to target Xavier Legette, and that's really. I'm sorry.
Well, what's the insight?
Yeah, it's Andy Dalton. It comes from last season. In that little stretch where Andy Dalton was playing, and he targets Xavier Legette more than anyone else, essentially. And,
all right, go ahead and post it, dude.
And I just, I read that Xavier Legette was Andy Dalton's primary target in relief of Bryce Young. This is this past week, actually, not from last year. Young exited late in the third quarter against the Jets and was replaced by Dalton, who attempted 7 passes, 5 of which were directed at Leggett. He caught 4 of those for 60 yards, all 60 of Dalton's passing yards. Dalton's other 2 targets went to McMillan and Jatavian Sanders, both falling incomplete. Overall, Leggett finished with 9 receptions for 92 yards and a touchdown, recording a career-high 24.2 PPR points. That's for fantasy football. Young is considered day-to-day with his injury, and Dalton is likely to start in Week 8 against the Bills. Little concerned that you have eyes only for XL. That's if you watched the game, the Seahawks game this past week, they've got Cooper Kupp, right? They've got a young receiver, Torrey Horton, who's very talented. But Sam Darnold only throws it to Jackson Smith and Jigba. That's it. That's all. He's the only guy he wants to throw that ball to. And that's because Jackson Smith and Jigba is one of the best route runners in the league. He's always open and he always catches the ball.
Always.
These are not traits that Xavier Leggett possesses at this point.
He's trying though.
Why. He is trying, but I don't know why. I don't know why you only have eyes for Xavier at this point. If you're Andy Dalton, Tedero McMillan has shown that he's very talented. Jimmy Horn has a little juice to him. Jalen Coker's back. Why only Xavier?
They're trying to get Xavier going. Look, man. I thought Xavier Leggett was a lost cause. Mm-hmm. Okay, I thought that was a wrap for him, man. He made it in his mind, and he didn't need to go any further. But I think they got him locked in now. I think they've got him to play inspired football, and we'll see, man. He's got the talent. And a team like this that is trying to find themselves, this is it's week to week, right? Game by game, you start to gel, you start to build that winning mentality, that competitive mentality, and you can see the players, the body language, they're buying in more. They look a lot different from week 1.
Yeah. Chaos says that T-Mac sucks, so we are now fully aware that Chaos does not know football. That's good to know moving forward. Thank you, Chaos. Appreciate that. So I think that now we are ready to bring up the Jets tweet and kind of talk about it, because we are about 2 weeks out from the trade deadline, which is, I believe, November 4th. And there was a tweet about the Jets possibly going on a little fire sale. This is trade values of the Jets players according to Connor Hughes sources. And Connor Hughes down below is clarifying that these are not things that he heard from the Jets themselves, but he talked to other front offices, and this is what they would give up or what they would offer for these players.
Okay.
So you got Quinnen Williams for a 2nd-round pick, Jermaine Johnson, the edge rusher, for a 3rd, Will McDonald, the edge for a 3rd, could be a 2nd, Breece Hall, their starting running back, for a 5th-round pick, Quincy Williams, who I just found out somehow is Quinnen Williams' brother, but Quincy Williams and Michael Carter the 2nd for day 3 picks. Now, Michael Carter being one of their corners. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, if I'm the Baltimore Ravens, is any of this worth my time at this point, and worth trading away future picks? What would you say if you're Eric DeCosta, and you're getting close to that trade deadline? You call up the Jets, and those are the players who are available. Are you biting on any of them?
Me personally, no. Right? I call them up since, look, it seems like you're doing a fire sale. Can we talk about one of your guards? Not John Simpson. I think John Simpson went back to the Jets, right? Not him. Let me look at some of your other linemen. Let's talk about Garrett Wilson, right? I know you just signed him. I know you say he wasn't on the list, but what do you want for him?
Yeah, it says I'm trolling you. I love T-Pac. I was also trolling you, Chaos. No worries.
But no, I don't want to put any more investment in defense. Mm-hmm. Now, Quinnen Williams is really good.
Yeah.
and they want a second round pick for him. And it's one of those things that they get a second round pick for Quinn Williams. I'm not going to be sitting here. I'm not going to break my TV over it. He's a good player, you know. But
and younger than I thought too. He's only
how old is he? Yeah, so he's in his prime right now.
Yeah.
So you get him at the right time, but you got to pay him. That's one. And two, it always comes back to this: are we still putting it on the defense? Well, not still, but are we going to put it on the defense to win games? If the answer is no, we're expecting Lamar to close out these games. I don't want to waste any more time on that side. Those guys have to figure it out. According to Baltimore Sun, nothing's wrong. They just got to figure it out, right?
Yeah.
Zach Orr's doing everything fine. They just need to play better. Well, then go play better. All right, go play better. No, I don't. Breece Hall maybe. For since we need a true number 2 that can take over to be number 1 when Derrick Henry retires. What do they want for Breece Hall?
Breece Hall on that list was a 5th.
A 5th? Yeah, take Breece Hall.
And what's funny about Breece Hall? Breece Hall is a very talented player who the Jets, the Jets seem like they don't like. It's kind of weird. Like you watch them play, and it's like, man, why won't you give Breece the ball? Give Breece the ball. Breece is the best player on your offense. Give him because Garrett Wilson's been out. Give Breece the ball. Why won't you give Breece the ball? Why is this Davis kid in? Give Breece the ball. And then at the end of the game, he has 25 carries. It just doesn't seem like it because they'll be like 1 carry. All right, come out for the rest of the series. But it's funny in Baltimore because it seems like, and it seems to have been proven this past season, they will only give the ball to running backs whose name they know. And they know Breece Hall's name. They don't know Keaton Mitchell's name. They don't really know Justice Hill's name. So if I'm Baltimore, sure, I'd give a 5th round pick. I mean, because what's a 5th round pick anyway? It's a lottery ticket and not a great one.
Right.
So yeah, I'd give a 5th round pick for Breece Hall. I would give a 5th round pick for Breece Hall if I'm most teams. Right. He's a very talented player.
Yeah. For
Baltimore, I think that Quinnen is worth it because he is such a talented player, and a 2nd round pick is not a lot. And I think the Jets have paid him recently. I believe. I haven't checked. I have to check on that. But a 2nd round pick is not a lot to give up for Quinnen Williams. That's the one area of the defense where they are weaker, especially with Madubuike out. So I would, if I were Baltimore, consider that, but that's after I make 31 calls about guards.
Yes.
If you can't get, because the 2nd round pick, you should be getting a young, good player, right? You're not going to get that on the offensive line. The teams aren't going to trade young, good starting O linemen, but you make all 31 of those calls. Like you sit Eric DeCosta down, you take away the TV, you take away his iPad, and you're like, listen, when I come back, there had better be 31 calls made on this call log on this cell phone.
Take away the ping pong
right.
and
you ground him and you say, listen, you're making these calls. You're making all 31 of these calls, and I better hear you ask about offensive linemen. And then if you strike out there, yes, I will take Quinnen Williams. If I'm the Panthers, I'm doing Quinnen Williams immediately. Like I as soon as I saw that tweet, I've called already. Okay, and I'm getting Quinnen Williams. But I'm also very interested in Michael Carter II for Carolina. He's a 26-year-old corner. Not the greatest corner out there, but they need some depth. They need depth. They need a guy to challenge Mike Jackson for that other starting spot. So that's cheap. Young player they can bring in who I think can add to a not great part of their defense. So I'd call on both of those guys if I'm Carolina, and I'd do that immediately. I would have said Quincy Williams, but I think that he's 29. He's starting to decline, and I don't think that you want to take that on necessarily. Linebacker, I think off-ball linebacker is something they can fix entirely in free agency, after the season, if need be. So if I'm Carolina, it's going to be Quinnen Williams, it's going to be Michael Carter II, and I think greatly improved the defense just by bringing in those two guys.
Little bonus question here. Jacoby Myers, what do you think about him? Because he's made it clear that he wants out of.
They have made it clear that they are not trading him. he said it too. He said, "I asked." They said no. So
I was like, okay,
and apparently they've had a meeting with Max Crosby to tell him that they are not trading him as well, because the Dallas Cowboys were like, you know what we could use? A pass rusher.
Yeah,
I heard they got one of them up in Vegas.
We have an extra first round pick. We can just give him that.
Jared, somebody got to pry that franchise out of his fingers. It's just terrible. Like, I don't even like the Cowboys. I love when the Cowboys are bad, but this is tough to watch. You know,
if you trade away Micah Parsons, this is a trade for Max Crosby.
You did bad.
What are you doing?
You lost. But yeah.
But you think if he were available, I think that's something I'd be interested in for the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking at?
Yes, Adrian. I was saying you were saying trade JC a few weeks ago, win a couple games and add brand new. No, I'm not adding brand new. If they get a good offer, I would absolutely trade JC Horn. I don't think he's an elite corner. He's playing very well. But I think that on this team, they would be better off getting draft picks and replacing JC Horn, because he's not an elite corner. He's a good corner. He's playing very well. But they could get that contract off the books and start fresh in the secondary. I would absolutely do that. It depends on the offer. Yep. You know, but no, JC is not he's not a permanent member of my Panthers. No.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, we'll have more trade talks coming up here, because like we said, the trade deadline is rapidly approaching. You're getting the rumors out there like right now, and you know, we'll see if the Ravens do anything. They seem like they put themselves in a position to open up some cap and make space by trading Owe. Like me and B said, this is something that the Ravens always do. They just open up space just because
they just like to
hoard money. Yeah.
Adrian says he looked elite last week talking about JC. He was playing Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor, bro.
That's why I was careful on how I worded it. I said those are the type of games that get you on the path to all pro. He's not all pro yet, but he's playing excellent football. I hope he keeps it up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, like
it's just like Brian Burns, right? Brian Burns is a very good player, wasn't an elite player, and I said yes, take the 2 first-round picks that the Rams offered you.
Yeah,
it's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
but they didn't. So
you got to win to sell high.
So here we are.
All right. Let's go over to Court of Public Opinion. We're almost at an hour and a half. We got 60 people in here. Hit that like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. I hope you're enjoying the show. We do this every Wednesday at 7:45 p.m. Eastern time. I mentioned the overtime show that happens right after this show. We'll be talking Stephen A. Smith and his sellout ways. We're going to be talking about Doug Martin, who recently passed away, and just the strange things that are happening around that case. You know, very weird. We're going to talk about that. And the San Jose Sharks, you know, there's something that they needed to apologize for. We're going to talk about that as well. So patreon.com/LBHT Show is how you can sign up for that. You don't want to miss that show. That's going to be a very good one. Yes, R.I.P. Doug Martin, only 36 years old, man. What's up, Danity? Said, I fully intended to be here early tonight and started cooking and forgetting. Hey, you got to focus on the food. But you're here now. We appreciate you. You got to focus on the food, okay? You don't want to take your eyes off of that. So your priorities were in order, Danity. We appreciate you, okay? Jay says, when he intercepts Josh Allen, then what? Good. If you're supposed to be all pro, that's what you're supposed to do.
Then get in line with all the other corners who have gotten picks off of Josh Allen.
I was about to say then you did what the Hawks, what the Falcons did a couple weeks ago. If the Bills lose this game, was that 3 in a row?
Yes, because it was the Patriots and then the Falcons,
and they don't have an easy schedule, I don't think. I mean, it could be some hard times for the Bills. We're talking about the Ravens now. It could be some hard times for the Bills coming up here.
Let me take a look here, because I believe this would be 3 in a row for them. I'm pretty sure. Yes, they lost to New England and Atlanta. They've got Carolina, then Kansas City. But then they get a win. They get Miami. But then they've got Tampa. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
But then they get a win. They got Houston.
Yes.
And then nobody knows what Pittsburgh is, so maybe we'll learn some more about them.
I gotta watch some Bills game. They got an interesting schedule coming up.
they're pretty up and down in terms of the strength of schedule coming up.
All right, listen. Court of public opinion. What we have is a fan who is not happy with LeBron James. Ladies and gentlemen, you know LeBron James recently had the decision part 2. Okay, he tweeted it out there. And we all speculated. I thought so too when I saw it, that he was making a second decision on this date or whatever. And I was like, oh, he's announcing whether he's going to retire or stay. Right? I assumed he was going to be playing this season, but maybe he's announcing this is the last season for me. Right?
Yeah, I assumed it was an ad because he announced it on Twitter. I didn't think it was going to be as dumb an ad as it was. I thought it would be for something else, but I did not think it was anything serious.
Well, I thought maybe it could be, hey, he's just saying, yeah, this is going to be, you know, my last year or whatever. Cause he's at that age, right? Like I assume every year, I assume this is your last year and then he comes back. So I'm just like, oh, okay. But you know, so I assume he was going to do that. And he said, yeah, I'm partnering with Hennessy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, whatever. Nothing to see here. Move along. Right? Wrong. Do you have? Can you pull that up, Adelia? This gentleman right here says, "Oh, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. There it is. Let's see. 29-year-old Lakers fan Andrew Garcia is suing LeBron. No relation, by the way. Is suing LeBron over the second decision. Garcia says he is owed $865.66 over fraud, deception, and misrepresentation for 2 tickets he bought.
And he's quoted as saying, I'm only suing to recover what I paid. I want to make that very clear, which is $865.66. He knows it down to the penny because he did not have $865.66. I think that's what is really leading to this lawsuit. He spent money he ain't have. And now he's angry and he's trying to get it back because ain't no refunds on Ticketmaster, right? Like, yeah, that sale's final. So he says maybe LeBron will have my back, but how do I get his attention? I know, lawsuit.
Yeah, what happened was when LeBron announced, "Hey, I'm making my second decision," the assumption was he's going to retire. And when tickets went on sale, everybody wants to do they want to be there for the farewell tour, right? Mm-hmm. So he got some scalp prices. Mm-hmm. All right. And when it turned out that that wasn't the announcement, he's like, "Oh, these tickets aren't worth that much. And I don't want to have to be on the hook for this." But guess what? You are.
The key word there is assumption, because LeBron didn't say anything about this being an announcement relating to his career in any way. LeBron didn't say anything about, "Hey man, you need to get your tickets because this is going to be big." He didn't say anything. He didn't say you need to do anything at all. He said he was going to be back on Twitter to announce something.
Yeah.
and you went stupid and you spent almost $1,000 on tickets that you no longer want.
But here's the good news. You'll still get to see LeBron. He may or may not play. He's 45 years old. He may or may not play that game, but you'll see him. He'll be there.
Hey, listen, you'll get to see Luka.
You get to see Luka. Maybe Brodny will be there.
Yeah, Austin Reeves. I think that's still a thing.
By the way, I watched most of it. I watched most of the Houston and Thunder game last night. That was a great first game. I'm sold on this year.
Yeah. When it went to overtime, I said, "Screw this! You cutting into Laker time." I said, and then I put on the Lakers, and at first I was like, "Man, this is great. Luka looks outstanding." And then later I was like, "Wish I didn't watch this."
Listen, the old man in me came out. As soon as it went to overtime, I was like, I'm not gonna make it. And I started fading.
Yeah.
And then I halfway woke up and I heard them say double overtime. And I was like, oh man, this is a good game. I need to open my eyes. And I didn't open my eyes. I went back to sleep.
Yeah, I watched in the third
right on cue. He says you should have watched the Golden State Warriors game.
Because Jonathan Kuminga went crazy in the third quarter.
Mhm.
None of the Lakers did. They got it back down to 6 in the fourth quarter, and then they were like, close enough. And they lost by 10. So that was good.
Yeah.
Luka put up 43, though.
Yeah, we're going to be talking some more NBA here as the season kicks off. But all right, look. Yeah, LeBron needs to come back. All right, this is open and shut, man. Listen, LeBron's not guilty. Andrew Garcia, no relation. You're guilty. Okay. All right.
And you know what, man? You know, just for being that stupid and then bringing the frivolous lawsuit, you're paying court costs too for everybody.
Yeah, because you know he doesn't expect to win. What he's hoping is they give him some free stuff.
Or you know, some LeBron haters start up a GoFundMe for him and get him right.
Yeah.
He's wanting to get his story out there to see if some money would fall into his lap.
And you're not gonna get any of it. Okay. You're not gonna get any of it. Nobody feels sorry for you. Go enjoy the game. You got 2 tickets. All right. Yeah. I hope they're good seats. Go enjoy the game.
That's the thing. He might be sitting courtside. You don't know.
Not for $800.
I mean,
for 2.
Well, I don't know if it was. I don't know how many tickets he bought, but
it's LA. He's probably sitting in a nosebleed for that much.
Listen. Probably, but you just you got to make the best of it.
Look, there you go. Okay, Press Star 410 says I'll donate $5
exactly.
to his cost.
Haters like Adrian, they got his back.
You can send it to the $LBHT Show.
that is how. Listen, that is the way that so many people make money on the internet. It's by tapping into people's hatred.
Yeah.
So if he can tap into the people's hatred of LeBron, he'll get double that back.
LeBron, he's in his 40s now. Like the hate isn't as strong for me anymore.
It is still just as strong. We're talking about a story in the Overtime Show that is based solely on hating LeBron.
that is personal.
Yeah, it is.
That one is personal.
But listen, it's personal both ways.
And that's not really what the story is about. But we'll mention that part of it. But all right. Not guilty for LeBron, guilty for the fan. All right. Let's do submitted questions.
There's no submitted questions.
No submitted questions. All right.
No submitted questions. I'm proud of y'all.
Good job. He'll be lucky to stand in the parking lot with only $800 in California. Facts. Facts, Jay. Facts.
It depends. I don't know if this was opening day tickets or end of the season tickets or whatever. It depends on when those tickets are for and how the Lakers are doing at that point.
Oh, my bad. Let me end this poll. I saw about 42 of y'all voted, and hold on. I already lost the poll. I ended it.
You started that poll and set it off into the ether and forgot about it.
Yeah, I think it was like it disappeared. I ended it. It disappeared. It was like I think it was like, oh, here we go. Do you believe the Baltimore Sun article? Okay, talking about the Ravens. 76% said no. 24% said yes. That was our 42 votes.
Sounds like they got a credibility problem.
I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's on the Sun, and it's just like I said, the timing, some of the quotes, and it was the volume of players for me, really. All right, or sources, because they didn't say 25 players; they said sources, so it wasn't necessarily 25 players. That doesn't that's a lot. You had 25 people in or around the organization talking to you about their frustrations. I don't buy it. They won't talk to you. That many people won't talk to you during good times.
Yeah,
right. Like things are going well, and they just want to know what the vibe is around there. You're not talking to that many people. They're not talking to you.
For all of you haters out there, I just pulled up Ticketmaster for the Friday game against Minnesota. And now courtside is quite a jump. Okay, because I mean they don't want you sitting next to Denzel and Jack and them. Those are nearly 10,000. But the section right behind courtside, $580. So
wait.
If he had bought one ticket,
how many rows up is that from courtside?
I mean, it's not rows up. It's like it's the section. I'm looking. It's the 100s. It's the 100s. It's right behind courtside. Like it's the first seats behind courtside.
So I'm still in earshot of Denzel.
Yeah,
that's listen.
Those are $580 a ticket. If he had bought one, he'd be right there.
Let me tell you something, B. That's price gouging.
Yeah.
Right here is $500. 5 steps forward is $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about some elitism right there.
Once again, it's not even. It's classism, and it's all over.
Yeah.
And so there's no difference between that piece of wood that you're standing on and the one that I'm standing on over here, except I'm a better person than you. That's the difference.
Right. I have an idea, Denzel, Jack Nicholson. Get off the court. Okay. You're not really a fan like us. You're not the regular folks. Go sit in the skybox with your elite friends and let us have fun courtside.
Right. Because you want to talk about the problem with sports? That's the problem with sports, is that sports fans can't afford to go see sports.
Facts. So yeah, okay. 500 would have gotten them close, but he didn't get the $500 tickets. He got the $400 tickets. Actually, he got the $300 tickets because that's not including the Ticketmaster fees and
hey. Depending on what he got on there, sometimes they don't be doing fees. All right.
So you gotta go a few more rows back. See, he's looking now. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like the 100, the section 100s are. I'm not gonna say reasonable, but like they are within that price range that he paid. So like if you're looking at behind the basket, not on the court side, but behind the basket, the baseline, it's under 200. You can get tickets for on Friday.
Okay.
So he could have had 3 friends with him.
But that's after
turn it into a class action.
That's after the prices went back down after the announcement went out. At the time, he was paying the
Minnesota. That's a hot ticket, man. That's Anthony Edwards.
He was paying the decision prices.
That's the Flying Frenchman. Like everybody want to see the Timberwolves.
Sure,
I guess.
All right, we're gonna end the show here. All right, Overtime Show, which is going to start soon. You can find that on patreon.com/LBHT Show. Also, I think we still have YouTube members. We weren't going to promote that for much longer, but if you remember, I put that in our comments for the members only section. So the link is in there. You can click that link. Also, Patreon members, obviously, you get the link on Patreon. That'll take you to our private YouTube video. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. For as little as $5, you can get the Overtime Show. You can get access to our Discord channel. Anybody joining the Discord channel, that's essentially a one-time fee. Whether you stay a Patreon member or not, we don't kick anybody out. We're building the community over there. So go check it out.
Yeah, I want to bring this up from Jay. He says, I'm yelling at Denzel that his latest movie, Highest to Lowest, sucked, and that Spike Lee should have never given Ice Spice a role. Okay, hating on Ice Spice aside, because why? I have an issue with this because we heard this from Chris just joking as well, that this movie was terrible.
Yeah.
But then I looked at the reviews, and the reviews say otherwise. So I have not watched it yet, off of the strength of Chris and Jay saying this is awful. But the reviews say it's pretty good. So if you've seen this movie, put it in the chat, thumbs up or thumbs down. Should I stream Highest to Lowest at some point over the next week? I'm a big Denzel fan. I just need to know if this is worth it or if I'm going to walk away feeling bad about seeing Denzel in this movie.
Well, I can watch it because I have lower expectations now. As long as I know to lower my expectations, I can enjoy a lot of things. All right. Like, I like The Rock. I'd never expect The Rock movies to be good. Right. So I go in there not expecting much.
But I even with The Rock, like he did The Rundown. The Rundown was good. He did Gridiron Gang. Gridiron Gang was good. So I had a certain expectation. Now, he has since destroyed that. But
I thought he brought it back with Jumanji.
Sort of. Jumanji was good, but I mean that was more of a Kevin Hart and Jack Black vehicle than anything else. They're doing another one of those, by the way.
And I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah. Jay, I already have your opinion, Jay. Goodness. The Tooth Fairy was not good, Jay. All right, let's get out of here.
We're getting out of here. All right. Listen, Patreon members, channel members, get ready. The Overtime Show is starting right now. Everybody else, thank you for rocking with us. Have a great night, and we will see you next time. Peace.